Morning, guys. I'm going to quick show you how to remove the front grill on the John Deere 1025R. Mine's a 2019. Yours might be a different year, might have different bolts in different locations, but they should be pretty similar up to 25. So kind of use this as a guide, and if your bolts line up, you're golden. So I'm going to show you what you're going to need. You're going to need maybe a light. I've got this one, neck light from Milwaukee. These are kind of cool. They're rechargeable, and then you can position these. These are great if you're laying on the ground. And then I've also got this magnetic one. Everything I got from Milwaukee, you guys know that. So basically, I'm going to show you how to do this quick. You're going to need some tools. Now I've got right here a flat-bladed screwdriver or a little pry bar. I've got a 1/4-inch ratchet, 2 extensions, a 10 millimeter, and then I've got 2 10 millimeter sockets. And then I've got my ratchet wrench, this pretty quick, and then just a Phillips screwdriver. Now you don't need all of this. I'm just kind of showing you a layout of how you're going to get in there. But whatever you use, you're going to need 10 millimeter stuff and a Phillips. So the first thing you're going to do, and make sure I light this up for you guys, you're going to have this trim piece. And now these screws are loose because I had it off yesterday. I was doing a mod. I put it back together pretty much, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So they are loose. It's going to be no time at all. You're going to take this bottom trim piece off first, and that's 2 Phillips screwdrivers. You're just going to take, and there's 4 total, 2 on each side. So you're going to take these 2 off here, and then you're going to come around on the opposite side. They're going to be in the same place. They're going to be the same screw, and then you're going to take the other 2 off. So you've got 4 total, 4 Phillips. And usually I have a magnetic plate, but I don't think we need that for that. After you take those Phillips out, you're just going to slide this trim piece off. Now it's pretty flexible, so don't be afraid to maneuver whatever you got to do. And I might make this look more difficult than what it is. That's not too bad. This piece comes off because this holds everything up. Now if you come over to this side here, I'm going to show you, and you're just going to mimic. Everything on the left is the same on the right. Now if you guys can afford it, and they're so cheap, get some paint pens. I always use the white one. I got them off Amazon. I'm not going to supply a link. It's pretty easy to, type that in and find them yourself. But if you can see here, are marked with white. So everywhere I have a line is where a 10 millimeter bolt is going to be. They're going to look like this. You got 10 total of these. And like I said, this is a 2019, so 2025 might be different. Or if you're missing some, might be because you got it used. Somebody got at it before you, took the grill out, and a couple of them are a pain in the butt. If you got a snowblower, I'll show you that. So you're going to have 10 of these on this tractor. You're going to have one here, which, now if we were doing this the right way, I'd just put the 1/4-inch on there, zap it out, and this one comes out. And note the places. So I got a white mark here, and then you come down here. You'll see 2 here, line here, line here. Now these are going to be tucked up in there, so just go by feel or get on your back, get a flashlight, but you can get them by feel at the socket. So then you're going to take this one out, and you're going to take this one out, and use this kind of for a diagram. I'm marking them with white so you guys can see them. So there's 3, and then on the opposite side is the same, so you kind of stay there. I'll grab the other 3 on the other side. They're directly across from each other. So you're going to have 1 on top, and then 2 on the bottom. And then I mark those with paint. If you want to come over here, I'll quick just show you this side I marked with paint real quick. So these were all up there. You have 3. You've got 1 out here, 1 here, and then obviously 1 up here. So that's these 3. And then you're going to have 4 more left, guys. And you know what? Yeah. Some guys say it takes 10 minutes. They always want to put a time on it to show how quick they are. But you know what? Take your time. Do it right. Don't get in a hurry. It's not that hard. Once you take it apart once, you'll have it. Now, if you look in here, you're going to see 2 marks I made here. 1 here and 1 here. There's 2 bolts there. So you're going to take those 2 out with whatever tool you can get in there with. 1/4-inch ratchet, 1/4-inch wrench. You got 2 more. Now you're noticing these are all the same size. So when you put them back together, you're not going to screw it up. Now the last 2 I had for bolts were over here. Let me see. well, I don't have to show you what they look like. They look like these bolts, but I'm going to point with this screwdriver. If you can see right here where I made that white mark, and then the other one, if you get over in the corner, is right here where I made that white mark. Now you see this bracket right here? This is my snowblower bracket. So if you have a snowblower mount on your tractor, you're going to have a hard time getting this one and this one out without taking the bracket off, which is going to make it a little more pain in the butt because you got to take the whole snowblower off. Then you're going to take this bolt, basically all the brackets that hold this bracket and this bracket on have to come off for clearance. Now what I did to sneak it, if you come over here, and this is why I say you're going to need a flathead or a pry tool like this. After I got these out, you can see this gap right here. So what I did was I was putting this in, and this just kind of loosens it anyway. So you want to be able to have a flathead. It just, you know, it's probably been in there so long that it's a little bit, I don't want to say stuck, but from the dirt and crap, you never really open these up. So what I was doing was I was taking this, and then I was taking my open end 10, and I was putting it right here. You come over to this side. I was putting it right in here. Get this in here for you guys. I was putting it right in here and sneaking it basically about a quarter turn at a time. And as I was turning it, I was lifting up because then the head stays up instead of going down and bottoming out on this bracket. But anyway, I'm leaving these two out, this one and this one, when I put it back together. Because like I said, if you've got a snowblower, they're just a pain in the, you guys know what. Anyway, this just pries up the bottom piece after I get it out. And now the flathead and this pry bar are just for prying. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to turn this on. You guys come in right over, maybe come this way first. I'll show you what you're going to do. So this headlight harness is basically two plugs on the headlight. But what you're going to see right here is this clip right here. So you're just going to take your flathead screwdriver, pop it in a little bit like this, and then push this down. And then you're going to have one in the middle right here. Now I've already had these off, so they come off pretty good. You're going to have one clipped here. And then if you look right here on this side, you're going to see another one. And this is just what the flathead's for. You're just going to loosen it. So now you've got your harness loose from the grill. You're going to unplug both headlamps, and then you just take your wire harness and lay it off to the side here. So that's pretty much it, guys. The grill is loose. Now I'm going to show you how to pop it off. Get these tools out of the way so my camera lady doesn't fall. The headlight harness is off, and basically the battery is in here. If you can kind of see, it's pretty tight here. So what you're going to want to do for the first time is just kind of lean this up like this. That'll help it come out a little easier. And when you put it back in, you just got to tilt this just a little bit, and then it'll go back down. So after you pry up, you're going to see that this thing starts to go, and you can see that battery is catching a little bit. So just get your fingers in the middle right here and just get it past that point. You're going to get it up to here, then just give your hood a little bit of a push. It's going to go so far. Once it gets out of that cavity, then you're loose. The whole thing's off, and you can take your battery if you want to out. You can clean this out. I did this for a mod, so what I'm doing is I'm hooking up an electrical mod that I ran, and I just needed some more room. Just makes it easier. That's basically how you get it apart, guys. Now, obviously going back together, reverse order, but I'll show you right here real quick. Make sure all your wiring is tucked into this part of the plastic on both sides. Otherwise, when you go to put this down, it'll catch. Now, what you can do is you can put some slide glide or a little bit of lubricant on these rails. So I'm going to come over here now. Turn this off. So you're going to see right here, here's the two clips. that this whole rail, this whole piece has to slide on. So you're going to line it up, and then you're going to go completely down. And then where you took the bolts out, you'll see posts right here. See this one, this one, this one. They're going to slide into each corresponding hole, and then you're just going to bolt it back down. So I'm going to push. And where I was telling you with slide is if you've got a little slide glide, any kind of grease, you just take a finger and go like this, both sides. Keep the film real light, because, you know, if you goop a lot on there, when dust and debris get in there, it's just going to collect. So after you get it there, you're just going to let it go down. And trust me, if you put that slide glide on here, this thing's going to float. So you got to watch your fingers. And just make sure your harnesses are out of the way. Like I didn't do, because now I've got my wire harness in here. I always try to make it look a little more difficult when I'm showing you guys. When I'm by myself, it's not so. Tilt the battery, like I told you. And then, like I said, make sure all the wires are out of the way, because that's going to make it so it doesn't slide down. And then you're just going to kind of, you come over here, you can see these wires. They're kind of getting in the way. But anyway, tilt battery. That's what's holding it up, is the battery. And then move your wires. And then it's going to seat back in here. And then it's ready to go back together. Then you're just going to put the bolts back in where you found them. And the nice thing is, if you kind of forgot, and you took this apart and you paint penned them, you're going to kind of have an idea, a visual of where they go when you put them back, where the white lines are and everything. So one's going to go right here. Just feel for the hole, put the bolt back in, and then start wrenching it back in. Zip, zip, zip. And then I'm going to put the middle two in, but I'm not putting the corner ones in, because, like I said, they were a pain in the butt. So that's pretty much it. Everything's out of the way. I've got my wire mod in, and now I'm going to go snow blow. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to show you that rear top link to get that discount, free shipping and everything. But that's how you take the nose cone off. It's pretty self-explanatory. Thanks for watching, guys.